Okay, so in the last video, we saw application of differential equations, and the two major things we focused on was population growth and bacteria growth, right? So this time, as I said in the end of the last video, we're focusing more on the rate of disintegration of a radioactive element. So this time, the only difference is पहले जब there was an increase, you had plus k, and this time when you will have a decrease, like examples of disintegration of a radioactive element, you will have minus k instead of plus k. Okay. So suppose I have already told you how that works and everything. So this was the main equation that we have, x naught e raised to minus kt. So with this equation only we ended the last video. So I have a solved example to do this time. This is again based on disintegration of a radioactive element. So the question goes like this: the rate of disintegration of a radioactive element at time t is proportional to its mass proportional to its mass at that time. The original mass of 800 gram will disintegrate into its mass of 400 gram after 5 days. Okay. So you have to find the mass remaining after 30 days. Okay, so this is nothing but radioactive active element ka disintegration wala formula. So as I said, you will be having a minus k rather than plus k, because we know that when are we going to use plus k? Only when we are sure that in future it is going to increase, like population ho ya fir increase in bacteria ho or something like that. Okay, so we will start. If x is the amount of material present at time t, then we can have, so this is the equation that we have. I've already proved this in the last video, which is equal to minus k t, where k is nothing but constant of proportionality. You may feel that why are we writing this step all the time? K is constant of proportionality everywhere we write, but you have to write it. It's compulsory, or else your marks may get cancelled. Okay, the constant of proportionality. Then now the same step, like with integrating on both sides, we get uh, dx by x, sorry, this is kx, because that dx by dt is actually proportional, right? So then it will be minus kx. So the next step we have, this is equal to minus integral k dt. इसके बाद we get this answer is nothing but log x, which is equal to minus k into t plus c. Then the final step, like how we used to write all the time, x is e raised to minus kt plus c. So this is nothing but e raised to minus kt into e raised to c. We can always write it like that, right? So x will be e raised to minus kt into e raised to c. Now, as we always write, where a is equal to e raised to c, we can always write x as e raised to minus kt into a. Okay, where a is nothing but e raised to c. that we have already done. So now we can write x as a into, I'll just rewrite it properly because we're always comfortable writing a first. And we will name the equation number 1. So this is our main equation. So I am highlighting it. Alright. Now coming to the given condition. So initially, what did they tell you according to the first condition? So pehle to, the original mass of 800 gram will disintegrate. Okay. So the original mass means in the beginning. In the beginning means we always take time t as 0. So when t is equal to 0, your x is equal to 800. So initially it was 800 in the beginning. So we have taken t as 0 and x as 800. So we will substitute that from equation 1. What do we get? X ke jagah pe we substitute 800, which is equal to a into e raised to minus k into 0. So this is nothing but this gives us a is equal to 800. Okay, so we get the value of a s because this is e raised to 0 and anything raised to 0 is 1. So we get a is equal to 800. So we are going to substitute that in our main equation, our highlighted equation number 1. So we get this, right? I will just name this as equation number 2 and I will highlight this also. Okay. Now after substituting the value of a as 800, we get this thing, right? So now what is the next condition? So the next condition is nothing but the original mass was 800 gram. So then that mass of 800 gram it disintegrates. मतलब वो कम हो जाता है to 400 gram after 5 days. Okay. So in the beginning T not T0 पे it was 800. So after 5 days means when T is equal to 5, right? After 5 days, then your mass becomes, it's only 400 gram now, right? So it is decreasing, right? So we will substitute this value of x over here. So x is nothing but 400, which is equal to 800 e raised to minus k into t ki jagah pe 5, right? So this is nothing but e raised to minus 5k. So we always have a habit of writing the numbers first. That is how it looks nice. That's the right way of writing. So instead of writing k5, I will write it as 5k. Okay, so we want the value of e raised to minus 5k. This becomes 400 by 800. I'll push 800 that side. So this is nothing but half. So e raised to minus 5k ka value is half. So now, what is the thing that is asked to you in the question? Find, what do you have to find? Find the remaining, find the mass remaining after 30 days. After 30 days means when t is equal to 30, you have to find out the remaining mass. Means when t is equal to 30, you have to find out the value of x, right? I'm going to do the same thing over here. We have all the values are known to us. So when t is equal to 30, x ka value we have to find out. So we will do that. We'll substitute everything. X is nothing but 800 into e raised to minus, what did we have? 30k, right? E raised to kt tha. So e raised to 30k. We have e raised to minus kt, correct? We're substituting that over here. This becomes, okay. So now what can we do is, we have to find out the value of x. Jab t is equal to 30. So we have substituted t as 30. X ka value we have to find out. But this thing is a problem, right? All the other values are known to us, but this k is actually creating a problem. We don't know the value of k, right? So what we can do is we can try to use the known information. Like, see this one. This is something which is in terms of e raised to k, and this term is also in terms of some e raised to k. So we will try to modify this term in terms of something that is already given to us so that it is easy for us to modify and find out the answer. So how we can do that is 800 as it is, or फिर इसको e raised to minus 30 को, because we know the value of e raised to minus 5, right? So we will try to write this of the form e raised to minus 5. Then what else? But actually तो the 30 है, but हमने तो सिर्फ 5 लिखा है. So then we can write this thing raised to 6. Are you understanding? So then अभी ये 30 वाला, this thing is also satisfied. So 30 is nothing but 5 into 6. Just a second. Now substituting the value of e raised to minus 5k as half raised to 6. E raised to minus 5 ki jagah pe I wrote it as half, and that entire thing raised to 6 as it is. So this becomes 800 divided by 2 raised to 6. And what is the value of 2 raised to 6? 2 raised to 5 is 32. So these are the powers of 2 which you should which you should know. So 2 raised to 6 is nothing but 64. Like 2 raised to 2 is you have 4, 2 cube is 8, then you have 16, 32, 64, 128. So these values you should know from powers of 2. Okay. So after dividing this is like normal division, and then you get the answer as 12.5. Okay. So then that's it. That's the end. So the mass remaining after 30 days will be 12.5 million. Okay, so that's the final answer which you have to write. Okay, so this was the last problem of this chapter. After this, you will have solved, I mean, the exercise questions. So this applications of derivatives ka problem, you have it in exercise 8.6. Okay, so please try those exercise problems.